Welcome back. In this flow, we'll be developing what our concept is of a strong, stable core. So now that you've learned the 7 directions of the spine and practice applying that through a yoga therapy flow, it's important that you also learn how to stabilize the entire length of your spine through what we commonly call nowadays as the core. So core was a term brought about by the Pilates tradition about 150 years ago. But when most of us think about core, we think about the superficial rectus abdominis six-pack muscles, right? But really this concept of core is much more complex and deep than that. You actually have 4 different layers of abdominals which all work together to help move the spine and keep it stabilized throughout various types of movement patterns and functions. So today we'll be exploring this concept in a little bit more detail through a yoga therapy flow. So we'll start on our backs. Coming into a bridge prep pose with the heels in front of the hips, the shoulder blades are rolled back and down so you're resting on the fleshy part of the armpits. Keep the ankles in front of the sits bones and the knees about hips distance, neither rotated in or out. On the inhalation, start sweeping the fingertips high up overhead, backs of the palms on the mat. Exhale, slowly draw the arms down. We'll just take a few snow angels to synchronize our breath with our movement. So as you're reaching all the way up, the inhalation completes. As the arms float down, all the way to the side, empty out the breath completely through the pelvic floor. Inhale up, and exhale down. Good. Let's start adding on a bridge. On this next inhale, lift the hips high up overhead, squeeze the glutes, press down through the heels, and exhale coming down. Lengthen the vertebrae down one at a time, tailbone towards the heels. Inhale, reaching up high overhead, lifting the back of the heart up towards the sky. Exhale, lowering down one vertebrae at a time. Let's take one more. Everything working together in one fluid movement, and exhale, slowly floating down. Good. Come to rest, hands over the belly. Take a big breath into your hands, and exhale, sighing it out. Good. From here, take your 2-piece fingers, and we're going to determine where your neutral pelvic position is. So this is really important for finding good alignment. So roll the hips around until the front point of your hip bones are in the same plane, both front, back, side, side, and top to bottom. Good. Then inhale, arch the tailbone in towards the mat, and then exhale without lifting the hips, tuck the tailbone up towards the backs of the legs. We'll take just a few like that. So you can feel where that neutral plane is relative to the range of motion you have in your hips. This is called anterior and posterior tilts. Okay, coming back to the neutral part of that axis, inhale and release the fingertips behind the head. And then exhale, rounding the spine, curl the low belly in, lifting the backs of the shoulders off of the mat. Inhale, gently release, back and down towards the ground. Elbows stay wide. And then exhale from the belly, scooping, flatten out the space behind the low back to lift the backs of the shoulders up. Good, so notice how I'm not artificially cranking on the neck to try to get this pose. So even if you take a smaller range of motion, prioritize having integrity and using the core over having a bigger range of motion. Let's take one more, last time. Really lift the backs of the shoulders up, keeping the elbows wide, base and neck stay soft. And exhale, go ahead and release. Arms come down towards the side, legs lift up in tabletop pose. From here, inhale, touch the right toes towards the mat, and then exhale, coming back up straight. Inhale, lengthen the left toes down towards the mat, exhale, back up, tabletop pose. Inhale, touch, exhale, back up. Inhale, left touch, exhale, back up. Let's take 2 more each side. And don't worry about how fast you're going, but keep the integrity of the movement. So the more the foot descends towards the mat, the more you have to pull the low belly up and in to keep the pelvis stable. Good. From here, let's combine both of those movements together. So take the hands on the backs of the knees, deep breath in, exhale, scoop the belly, curl the backs of the shoulders off the mat. And then inhale, release. Exhale, curl the belly off the mat. Inhale, release. Good. Let's add one more step. So exhale, curl the belly, lift the shoulders off the mat, and then inhale, release the toes down. Exhale, curl. So it's the full expression of a crunch, and you're using the whole core to facilitate this motion. Last time, exhale, curl yourself into a tight little ball, really hollow out the space behind the back, and go ahead, release. Slide your way up onto your elbows, about right underneath the shoulder. We're gonna do another boat pose variation. From here, inhale, legs back at tabletop pose. Good. Exhale, extend the legs out long. Inhale, release down a little bit, and then exhale, back up a little bit. Inhale, down. Exhale, back up. So if that's too much on the low back, or if it feels too much in the hip flexors, keep a soft bend in the knees, and just bend and extend. If you want more of a challenge, take the legs up and down. Okay? Let's do this for 3 more times. Whatever variation you're on. Last one, and exhale, go ahead, hug the knees into the chest, rock it out side to side. From here, inhale, lengthen the left leg straight, exhale, right knee in towards the chest. Deep breath in, exhale, take the left arm over the top of the right leg, twist it out towards the side, supine twist. Releasing the right side chest, shoulder and hand back towards the mat, softening the face. Inhale here, and then exhale, draw the right knee back up and in towards the chest. Interlacing the hands behind the head, exhale, curl and crunch the left elbow across the right thigh. Inhale, release. Exhale, curl and crunch. So if you're familiar with bicycle crunches, you can lift the left heel off the mat for a little bit more of a challenge. But really make sure this rotation comes from the chest, from the upper torso. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Good. Head and neck come down, feet step wide to the edges of the mat, hands down by the waist-side, knees knock in, and we'll windshield wiper out the feet. From here, draw the soles of the feet together, inhale the hands high overhead, Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined bound angle pose. Release some of that tension in the hip flexors, soften through the face, soften through the back of the throat. Deep breath in, and then exhale, sliding the hands all the way down by the waist side. Close the thighs off with the hands, and we'll repeat on the second side. So inhale, the right leg straightens out. Exhale, the left knee comes up and in towards the chest. Deep breath here. Exhale, take the right hand over the top of the left thigh. Left hand extends out long. Release into your supine twist on the other side. Gaze can shift back towards the left hand. Take one more inhale. And exhale, coming back towards center. Keep that left knee in towards the chest. Interlace the fingertips behind the head. Funky thumb on top. And exhale, curl and crunch towards the left. So really important to keep the elbows open. And again, not artificially crank on the neck, but really try to twist from the torso and the belly scooping. Breath in, exhale, crunch. Good to develop the obliques. If you want a challenge, lift that right heel off the mat. Let's take 2 more. Inhale, release. Exhale, scoop, breathe. Last one. Inhale, go ahead, release down. Let's go ahead, take the last one. And then we'll inhale, slowly release down. Hands come down by the waist side. Feet part wide to the edges of the mat, knees in, and let's rock it out side to side again. Good. Take the soles of the feet together. Hands come up high. Inhale, big breath. Exhale, soften it out. Inhale one more time. And exhale, slide the hands down, take the knees together, roll over onto your side in a side fetal pose, and then we'll come up to rest on the left elbow. So a few variations I'll show for this next pose. The first level is to start with the elbow on the mat and the knees forward. Okay, the right hand can come down in front for extra support as needed. Inhale, the right fingertips stretch overhead as the right leg extends away from the face. Exhale, right elbow to knee and take a side crunch. Inhale and extend. Exhale and crunch. If you want more, keep that left knee down and then inhale the right leg high. So you're lifting the hip a little bit. And then exhale, elbow to knee. Okay, if that feels good for you, that's enough today. Stay there. If you want the full variation, left elbow stays down, both legs extend, and the left hip lifts off the mat. Inhale, right hand high, right leg reaches, and then exhale, crunch. So you have level 1, 2, or 3. You can take your variation that is most appropriate for you today. Wherever you're at, let's do 3 more. Last one, good. Inhale, legs straight. Exhale, lower the hips if they're raised. Good, and then coming down onto both forearms, Sphinx Pose. Elbows slide in front of the shoulders. Inhale, lifting the chest. From here, exhale, taking it back into Child's Pose, lifting the hips up and back, resting over the heels. Deep breath in. And exhale, coming forward, back into a tabletop pose. Good. Inhale, reach the right leg up and back, and then exhale the left hand forward. So watch that the outer left hip doesn't go out to the side. Squeeze everything up and in towards center. Inhale, lengthen across your diagonal, then exhale, squeeze, elbow towards knee. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, scoop. This is called balancing cat. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, elbow to knee. Let's go 2 more times. Last time. Inhale, reaching out long. Exhale, the arm comes back and around, grab for the leg. Inhale, kicking it up tall. Good. Squaring off the hips and shoulders, try to draw that right knee in towards your center axis. Push up through the glute 1 more inch. Good, and then exhale, slowly release the left hand down, right knee out towards the side. Good. Inhale here, exhale, straightening the right leg out. Inhale, release. Exhale, press, almost like you're kicking out towards the side. Inhale, release. Exhale, press. Keep drawing that left hip in. Last one here. Good. Inhale the leg up and back. Exhale, bring your knee towards your nose. Come all the way up into a low lunge pose, settling the hips down towards the mat. Inhale, lifting the hips high. Low lunge pose. Come to namaste hands or interlace opposite elbows. And then release into a small back bend. Lifting the chest. Inhale. And exhale, slowly lower the hands down. We're going to take a quick pigeon. Slide that right ankle across to the left side of the mat. The left knee reaches back behind you. So don't just dump out into the hips right away. Keep a buoyancy. Inhale, walk the fingertips back. Square off the hips. Okay, lift through the inner thighs. So there's an active buoyancy in the hips. Good, and then from here, if you want, you can go forward just a little bit. Breathing into the hip. Inhale here. And exhale, simply take it back to a tabletop pose, then to child's pose. Quick breath in. And exhale, sigh it out. Good. Inhale, come forward. We're gonna go directly onto the other side. Okay? So again, variations. The right arm comes down, fingertips facing away from the body. Level 1 variation, back body is straight. Okay, inhale, hand over head, legs straight. Exhale, take your side crunch. Level 2, keep the knee down. Okay, level 3 variation, both legs are straight. So pick your poison. We're gonna take 5 full crunches here. Already at 3, already at 2, lift that underside hip. Last one, good, hold here, drop the back knee, lower the top hand down, come right into your Sphinx pose, elbows in front of the shoulders, lifting the chest high. Good. From here, exhale, slide the hands back, press it on back to a tabletop pose. We're gonna inhale the left leg up and back, then exhale, reach the right arm forward. Squeeze that right hip in towards your midline and draw the outer left hip down so the toes are pointing down towards the mat. Inhale, cross diagonal, then exhale, curl and crunch, right elbow to left knee. Inhale, lengthen and extend. Exhale, curl and crunch. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Let's do one more. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, lengthen it out. So reach back around, grab for the foot, kick the foot into the hand, and square off both the shoulders and hips towards the front of the mat. If that left knee is bowing out, try to draw it back in towards your center line and push up through the heel. Take one more breath. Soften the face, soften the back of the neck, squeeze everything in towards your center line. And exhale, go ahead, release the foot. Right hand comes down, left knee comes out towards the side. Inhale here, exhale, kick through the left foot. Inhale, release, and exhale, we kick. Inhale, release, exhale, and kick. Inhale, release, exhale, kick. Last one, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, bring the left foot all the way back behind you. Exhale, draw your knee towards your nose. Step the foot forward between the hands. Good. Lower the hips down. And then inhale, walk your way up to a low lunge pose on the second side. From here, inhale, lift the hands up high overhead. Exhale into a back bend with the thumbs coming towards the backs of the shoulders, or you can clasp opposite elbows overhead. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, release the hands, float it down to the mat, push the ground away, the left foot slides over to the right side of the mat, right knee slides back behind you. Again, don't just dump out into the hip, find that buoyancy, walk the fingertips back, inhale, lengthen the spine, draw the tailbone under just a little bit, inhale here, now you can exhale, walk the hands forward, quick pigeon. Good. Deep breath in. And exhale, take it back to tabletop pose, pushing the hips back into a child's pose. Inhale here. And exhale, slide the fingertips all the way up. And then come to a nice seat in the center of your mat. So after you come to a seated position, we're going to inhale, open the arms wide, lifting the chest up, and then exhale, bring the hands towards center, prayer pose. Inhale, open the chest, and exhale, prayer pose. Inhale last time, open the chest, exhale, prayer pose. Take one more deep breath in, and exhale, bowing chin to chest. You've now completed your strong, stable core practice. Revisit this practice anytime you need to warm up for a workout or as a workout in and of itself, or anytime you might be feeling some back pain to relieve that pain and to strengthen the surrounding areas, supporting muscle groups. If you have any questions, let us know, and I hope you guys have a great day.